Hello Nintendo Wii here, welcome back to Let's Play Retro Games, and welcome to my Christmas gaming memories of this amazing console here, the Sega Dreamcast. This isn't the original Dreamcast that I got for Christmas that year, this is actually one that I got for my birthday a few years ago, with a really nice picture of Miku on the front there, drawn by my girlfriend. So, just to put this into context, the year is 2003, and the Dreamcast had been discontinued a few years earlier. I was never a huge Sega fan growing up, of course. As you can tell by my username, I was very much into Nintendo and nothing else. I remember when the Nintendo magazines always used to call the PlayStation the Grey Station or the Gay Station, and I can't remember what they called Sega, but they clearly didn't like them. But when the Dreamcast came out, I'd actually had a few encounters with it before I got my own system, and I was really impressed with the games. The very first game that I ever saw playing on the Dreamcast was Rayman 2 at a friend's house, and I absolutely loved what I saw. I knew it was also on the N64, but I just thought the Dreamcast version looked so much better. And it is, to be honest. Although this isn't one of the games that I got for Christmas. So picture me in 2003, I think I was about 11 years old at the time, and I'd asked for a Dreamcast, and I got one. I was so excited. Of course, I hooked everything up straight away, and the games I got on day one at Christmas, of course, Sonic Adventure. If you have a Dreamcast and you don't have Sonic Adventure, you really need to go and get it. Of course, it was Sega's big showcase for the system, their incredibly ambitious Sonic game, and I absolutely love it still to this day. Another thing I just want to say to put this video into context, before I got the Dreamcast and played the Sonic games on there, I had already played them both on the GameCube. So I kind of knew what I was expecting going in, but I didn't realise just how good the Dreamcast was compared to the GameCube. Obviously, because it was an older system, I actually thought that it would be a lot worse, but that's really not the case at all. In fact, some would actually argue that Sonic Adventure DX is actually worse than the Dreamcast one, just because of the performance differences and things, and the lighting effects on Sonic Adventure 2 are actually better on the Dreamcast as well. So when I did get the system, I was absolutely blown away by the graphics. So the first game that I played when I plugged the system in, it wasn't Sonic Adventure, it was actually Soulcalibur. A game that I'd been reading a lot about before I actually got it, and I was not disappointed. It's still to this day my favourite fighting game of all time. Absolutely love the Soulcalibur series, especially this first one. As well as Sonic Adventure and Soulcalibur, I did also get a few others. Of course, if you've got a Dreamcast, I'm sure you've got millions of copies of this game. I've actually got about 6 of them for some reason. This is Chuchu Rocket. Again, like the Sonic Adventure games, I had already played Chuchu Rocket on the Game Boy Advance before I actually got this one, so I already knew what to expect going in, but it is a really addictive puzzle game. And one of the key differences with the Dreamcast version compared to the GBA one was the online support, and I did actually manage to try it out at my nan's house. I went for a sleepover and we took all the stuff to plug it into the phone line and things, and I played around a bit on the internet browser that came with the Dreamcast, and I downloaded some levels for Chuchu Rocket, which I absolutely enjoyed. And the other two games that I can't quite remember, I either got them at Christmas or very soon after. They are Dead or Alive 2 and Metropolis Street Racer. Dead or Alive 2 is another one of my favourite fighting games ever. Absolutely love the DOA series, and of course, being a teenage boy at the time, I quite enjoyed the characters. Make of that what you will, but yeah, really great game. I still love the controls to this day. I was actually playing this yesterday on the Dreamcast itself, and it holds up really well. One thing that really does impress me, even to this day, about the Dreamcast is just how smooth the games look and feel. They really haven't aged that badly at all, and it is such a shame that Sega's not in the console business anymore. And the last game that I want to touch on briefly in this video, it's not going to be a super long video, I just wanted to share some of my memories of the Dreamcast. And this game here is called Metropolis Street Racer. The first racing game by Bizarre Creations, which went on to make Project Gotham. I was never really a fan of more simulation style racing games like this, but when I did get this one, again, this seems to be a running theme with the Dreamcast. I was blown away by the graphics and the gameplay and just the immersion that you got from it. I actually got the steering wheel and pedals as well, And I actually remember, it was a few years later, but I may as well bring this up. I actually remember when I was practicing for my driving lessons, I would actually get this game out and sit down with the steering wheel and the pedals and put it in manual and actually drive around the different tracks, practicing for my driving lessons. I have no idea if that actually helped or not, but at the time I thought it was a huge help, so one of my favourite racing games ever, and maybe it doesn't hold up quite as well as some of the other games on the Dreamcast, but I'd still highly recommend it if you're thinking about getting the system. So I could easily go on all day about the Dreamcast. It is one of my favourite gaming systems of all time, but I'm going to end the video there because these were the games that I actually got on day one or very soon after with the system that Christmas, and it was such an amazing time. I remember just sitting there for hours playing Sonic Adventure and Soulcalibur and just having an absolute blast, and it really made me kind of sad that I didn't get into the Dreamcast when it was available in the UK just to buy new, and I didn't really get the excitement of any of the games that were coming out for it, which is a bit of a shame. But just before I finish this video, there was one silver lining to that, and that is the fact that Game Station, the shop that's now become part of Game, but back then there was a shop called Game Station which did a lot of pre-owned Dreamcast games, and they were super cheap, so I actually managed to get hundreds of Dreamcast games. I don't have them all today because I did trade a lot of them in, but back then that was a fantastic way to get a lot of games very cheap, so I did actually build up a very, very good Dreamcast game library. So that's it for my memories of the Sega Dreamcast at Christmas. Let me know what you think of the system down below. Also, if you have any other memories of getting gaming systems or any games in particular that you got for Christmas one year that you were super excited about, definitely let me know some of your memories down in the comments below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, check out my Patreon, and I think I've got one more video coming this year, and then I'll see you in the new year. So have a fantastic Christmas and New Year, guys. Take care. Goodbye.
Jump on panel number 1. It will take you to panels 2 and 3. Jump as soon as you land on a panel or else you'll fall.